Hey guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. We are out here in the barn today, and I have got stalls to clean. It is early evening, 5 o'clock, and it's a hot day. We're in, I think it's 92 right now. So I just got off work, and I'm just out here getting the stalls cleaned up, and then we are going to actually go get some hay. So as you can see, the horses are not in their stalls, and their stalls still have pucky in them. I have laid out this is our hay situation, and I have laid out some extra pallets, gotten that prepared. So we have, there's roughly 19 bales, small bales, lady bales is what I call these, over here. And then we also have our 5 big round bales over here, 2 of which of those are off of our hayfield. This one right here and that one right there are off of our hayfield here on the property. And we are fixing to just go, it's not a big load, as you can see, there's only 3 pallets down. We're just fixing to go pick up 38 more lady bales from a different rancher. So just to add to our stock, 5 horses go through a lot of hay, as you can imagine, in the wintertime. And of course, right now we have pasture to supplement, but we do still feed hay in the barn for roughage. And we have a lot of older horses, so I like to try to keep food in front of them all the time, just to try to keep their weight up. So we go through a lot of hay, especially in the wintertime. Not so much now in the summertime, but in the winter we do go through it, and I like to have it stocked up as much as I can for many reasons. Weather, it rains a lot more here in the wintertime, as well as when my Mr. Wonderful gets home, I want to spend as much time as I can with him, and him not having to do work the whole winter. I would really like to get some of these things done for him, so that when he gets home, he doesn't, just one less load he's got to do. So anywho, speaking of Mr. Wonderful, at 1,000 subscribers, Mr. Wonderful will be on a video. So subscribe if you like the content today, you guys. Trailer of choice is our trusty dump trailer. Again, it holds I think 42 bales. Let's get this thing fired up and start cooling off, because it's hot enough to fry an egg in here. Whew. All right, get that cooling off. Always make sure that I restock my refrigerator with cold waters for my help, for whoever's helping me. That way, when we get home, after loading or before unloading, whatever, we have cold water at our fingertips. Okay. I just thought of that. I was in the barn and I went, I need to fire up that truck because it is hot in there. I'm not kidding you when I tell you could fry an egg in that truck. It's hot. Ta-da! There's some more right there. So, you guys, take a seat. I'm gonna take a seat. And as you've noticed, I'm sure already, outfit change. It is the next day, and I'm gonna tell you a story. Now, a lot of times what you see in videos is, sorry, I've got stuff in my hands. If I have stuff in my hands when I'm stressed out, I'm gonna play with it and it's gonna make unnecessary noise. Basically, I don't even know where to start. I'll start with, a lot of times in videos you see the before and the after. You don't see the road that led to that. You don't see a lot of the bloopers. Well, I'm not necessarily going to show you the bloopers because I cried so many times yesterday and this morning. I just was not even, I couldn't even form it into words. I'm not even sure if I can form it into words now. And it's the next afternoon. So basically, the hay is in the barn. Nobody's dead or in the hospital or injured. But here's the drama that happened. And you know, it's farm drama. And there is some fault in some of it, but there usually, and a lot of times, it's no fault of anybody's. These things happen. Equipment breaks down. Animals try to kill themselves. You know, stuff wears out. We make mistakes, or you know, accidents happen. So basically, what happened was we were kind of rush to get to the hayfield. The owner of the hayfield got home early, and so he was able to load us early. So I went ahead and I went without my help. I did hire a hand for this job just because I just felt like it was worth it. And, you know, hired hands are not cheap, but they're worth their weight in gold, especially this one. So anywho, I went ahead and I went to the hayfield, and I kind of noticed, I thought that my truck was acting a tiny bit funny, but I thought, well, I've just scooted my seat back. I had, about a week ago, I decided to scoot my seat back to get further away from the airbag. I had overheard a conversation about people that sit too close to the steering wheel. The airbags go off, it breaks ribs, it does damage. And I thought, well, I'm that person, you know, I'm up riding over the steering wheel because I'm so short. So I have moved my seat back, and you know, we have a pretty steep mountain to go down and up. And I thought, well, maybe I'm just not, my foot's not on the pedal right. I didn't really think much of it. And then we get the hay loaded. I'm on the way home. Check engine light comes on in my truck, and I don't have, it felt like I didn't have my turbo. You know, it felt like my turbo went out. I don't have any oomph in my truck. I didn't know if I was going to make it back up the side of the mountain. It was going like 12 miles an hour, and my foot was mashed. And I had decided to get a half a load. I decided to only get 19 bales because let me tell you what, these suckers are heavy. These are probably 75 pounders would be my guess. These guys are heavy. So, and they're much longer. They're much bigger than the other lady bales that I have in the barn. So I decided to split the load in two just to make it easier for my truck, just trying to be smart. So we barely make it home, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have time because they're waiting for me back at the hayfield to load the other half. I don't have time to call Mr. Wonderful and go through diagnostics on my truck, but I don't want to drive it. So I unhook the trailer, ask a neighboring farmer if we can borrow his truck to hook to my trailer. That's fine. It's his ranch hand that's actually helping me, so it worked out great. His ranch hand could drive it. Get it all hooked up, get to the hayfield. You guys, this is... And I'm only laughing because nothing bad happened. And it's a mistake that a lot of people make and won't admit. And it's 100% my fault. I'm the adult in the situation, and it's my trailer. I did not double check. I checked the hookup and everything looked great, but I did not ask and make sure that he used a 2 5/16 ball. He used a 2-inch ball. So we're pulling into the hayfield, and we go through the dip of the ditch, you know, and the trailer comes off the truck. Puts a minor scratch, but still a scratch, in the bumper of the rancher that I borrowed the truck from. It's not my truck anymore, remember? We borrowed a truck. And we have a trailer on the ground, which luckily we figured that out. We got it hooked back up. But, you know, of course, now me and the ranch hand are stressed out about the rancher's truck. And, you know, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have made that mistake. We overlooked it. We're mad at ourselves. I'm still stressed out and freaking out about my truck. So we get the other hay loaded, and we get it home and we get it unloaded. And, you know, by this time it is, you know, it's like 8 o'clock. The horses are still out in their pasture, and I'm way behind on my barn chores. So I get the horses in, I start doing farm chores. I call Mr. Wonderful. he's trying to help me diagnose my truck and everything, and I'm trying to get chores done, and it, you know, it was just, I was just a mess. I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know, I knew that I had the Suburban here, which is the other rig that we have, and I knew that I could use that, but it was deader than a doornail. So, you know, and I knew I had to work today. So anyway, I got up this morning. I went to bed after I got done with farm chores and got to bed, you know, after I took a shower at about 10 o'clock last night. I got up early this morning. I came out at daylight. I started working on getting the Suburban started and getting it charged and hooked up and everything. And lo and behold, I have to string trim because I don't want to get, you know, the grass is long around the Suburban. So I want to string trim around it so that while I'm working and not paying attention to where my feet are, I'm not stepping on something in the tall grass and getting bit or something. You know, just like one of those things where I was kind of feeling like, don't take any chances because your luck's not going real great. So I'm string trimming and I'm like 10 feet away from the bourbon, and all of a sudden, zap, zap. And lo and behold, I don't know if you guys can even see it on there, but I have been wasp stung again. So anyway, paper wasp, or as I learned today from a local, we call them waspers here. So stung, I get, you know, severe reactions. I swell up, I get red, it hurts, it burns, you know, it's like, I'm so mad. But now I've got to kill this wasp nest before I can even get to the bourbon. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to get there. I'm just trying, you know, I got to go to work. So, I go get my wasp spray and I'm working on trying to figure out where they're coming from, but I can't figure out where they're coming from. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to spray them. I'm going to leave the bottle out here and I'll spray them as I see them. Well, finally find a charger, which I think is the right charger. Stupid thing doesn't work. And then I find out that the power at my house is not working. And so then I'm like checking breakers and trying to figure that out. And ended up having to trip a breaker, trip a GFI. And thank God Mr. Wonderful was like, call me. I don't care how early it is, you know, FaceTime me. And so he helped me through all this. But I was hoping to start the Suburban, but also I was hoping to start working on my truck, because we think that we have diagnosed that it may be something that I can fix myself with a little bit of YouTube help. So anyway, I finally ended up having to use my truck to jump the bourbon, got the bourbon started, found out the wasp nest was in the mirror, finally got that killed, got it out and stomped into the ground. Of course, that felt really good. You know, I was like ready for some serious stress relief. And knew that I had, you know, I had to go to work. I had Mobile Doggy nail trims, so I had places to be, and but I also have this broken truck looming over my head. So you're caught up, basically. I went to work in the Suburban. Everything is fine. You know, it's just farm drama. It's not horrible, but it's not fun either. I'm drained. I'm emotionally like, I'm not made for this. You know what I mean? Like, you have times in life, no matter what you do, that you're just like, man, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, and I prayed so hard today, and I was like, Lord, I know that you have got a plan and that this path is teaching me something. I'm going to get something from this, but dang, I'm not a mechanic, you guys. I hate mechanicking. I'm not, my brain just doesn't function that way. And so, I am a big believer. I've said this many times on this channel. There are man jobs and there are woman jobs. Mechanicking is a man's job. Now, there are some women that are excellent at it, and hats off to them. I think it's amazing. I know women mechanics, and I am just so in awe of them. I am not one. And so anyway, the hay's in the barn. I'm home now. It is like 9,002 degrees outside. But I have the special tool that's supposed to take this special part off, because what we believe has happened is we believe that the code reads electric throttle sensor something, error or something like that. What it is some people call it the MAPS sensor. The guy on YouTube that I'm watching calls it a boost pressure sensor. And so anyway, you've got to have a special torque tool or whatever to fit onto your ratchet to get it off. So I'm supposed to be able to just basically clean this control, this sensor. It gets gummed up, and so on the 2015 Dodge Ram Eco Diesels, this is a common thing. It's a common occurrence, and it's basically just like plug and play. It's like one bolt and then plug and play. So the other struggle that I have is I'm super short. So I'm going to need to go get a step stool, and we are going to go to work on my truck. You guys are all caught up. And as usual, promise to be real with you. And this is turning into was going to be hay hauling, but it's turning into a hey, let's work on my truck episode. So it's just life. Okay, so what I have to do here is, as you can see, I have an assortment of step stools out here. But what I need to do, well, I probably should, I'm supposed to disconnect the battery to reset the code, but I've got to take that cap off. I've got to take that off in order to get to the part that I need to get to. So that's kind of what I was working on, but I forgot that Mr. Wonderful told me to go ahead and unhook the battery because it needs to be unhooked for 20 minutes to reset the code. So, all right, let's see if I loosen this correctly. Just not sure how it's supposed to come off, you know. Oh, YouTube. How do I disconnect a battery on a Dodge Ram 1500 Eco Diesel? Okay. You know what? So I had to actually YouTube how to do this, and I just thought I probably shouldn't do it with a phone. I don't know if it matters. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, but I don't want to, you know, die here alone on the farm. So I'm going to put you guys down and disconnect it. It's been a bear to get loose, but I finally got it loose. I think I can get it off. Okay, so I've disconnected the battery, and supposedly, you know, once you fix this, you're supposed to disconnect the battery for 20 minutes and then plug it back in, and it will, wipes the code clean from this issue. So we just decided that we would go ahead and unplug that. It would also make me feel better that the truck's not plugged in while I'm working on it, because I'm not a mechanic, and then fix this problem. So I need to move my stool now, see if I can reach. It's gonna be a challenge. Back here, all I need to do is I need to take this. Everything is so hot. I mean, like, hot, hot. There we go. Should be able to just take this out. There's still wasps buzzing around trying to get me, even though the nest is somewhere around here dead. Okay, and a couple things just in case. Well, there's one right there. In case you don't know, I'm not scared of wasps. I just really would rather they all die, and that way this doesn't happen. You know, I mean, it's the tension and pain in my arm right now is unbelievable. So I'm not fearful of wasps. I just know what they can do to me, and so, and also, for those of you who are new here, welcome. But Mr. Wonderful works in Oregon still for all summer. So that is why I am saying that I'm FaceTiming with him and stuff like that. He is not here on the farm. I run the farm during the summer by myself. So therefore I have to try to work through the mechanics of things by myself, which I'm completely okay with. We are 100% dedicated to his boss. We love his bosses, and it is what it is. So just a couple things explained. I'm gonna have to see, there might be a wasp nest in my truck, or they're trying to build another one, because they keep going in here. So there shouldn't be, because I run this thing a lot. They might just be trying to find a new place to set up shop, which, good luck, you dirty little boogers. Okay, I think I'm gonna go get a towel so that I can actually, like this, I can't touch it. So I'm gonna go get a towel. I don't even think I can see right now the part that I need to get to, so I'm probably gonna have to climb up on top of my truck. See, there's one right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some looking here. Be right back. Okay, I have located it. I've got a blanket for my truck, and I've located it. It is right there. So that's the nut I need to get to, and this is the part right here that my finger is on that I need to get out of there. Okay, I got the bolt out, but now I've got to go back and watch his video again and see how to take the wiring harness off before I can get the part out. And there's like a funky clip and that I need to make sure that I try not to break. So I'm just gonna go inside and cool off for a second while I watch that video again, and see if I can remember how to get that clip off. Okay, so do you guys see that yellow clip right there? That yellow clip was right there. And what I did, so on the video that he told me, he was saying disconnect it while it was still down there. I've detached the other side. I found that I have much more movement and wiggle room. I couldn't get my hands down in there. So I removed that yellow clip from right there, and then that's going to allow me to pull this harness, this wiring harness off. I hope. Maybe right there. God, if I lose you in my truck, you guys, I swear. Okay. You can't see anyway. So I'm supposed to push, and then it came right off. Okay, good. So now I have the part that I need, and you guys won't believe this when you see it, especially you mechanics. Look at that thing. That thing is nasty clogged. So now I get my brake cleaner and get to work on getting that cleaned. I'm going to get something to go over the electronic part of it. Okay, here we go. Oh wow. Okay. That's crazy. Let's see if you guys can tell. Look at that. Isn't that nuts? Now he also told me that there's a peg on the inside. I shouldn't say he told me, he told YouTube. He told us. See that peg on the inside? So you don't want to go like, you know, cleaning it with a screwdriver or anything like that. Just the pressure of the brake cleaner, which is what I'm using, gets it clean. So she is. I'm gonna let her air dry for a little while, and then we'll get her put back in. It's exciting. Okay, now back to the truck, and we do it all in reverse. So I will connect this back to the wiring harness, and then I'll get the bolt put back in, and then I'll put the cover on, the motor, and then I'll hook my negative back up, and then I'll fire up my truck and take it for a spin and see if we're fixed. Cross your fingers and hope I don't die. All right, let's see if I can get it back there for you. There it is, up close and personal. It's all hooked back up. It's got its yellow tab in and the bolts down tight. Not super tight, but tight, because it wasn't super hard to loosen. Okay, we're all connected back up. Cover's on. All that's left to do is take her little apron off and see if Consequence is back to her original self. God, I hope so. I love my truck. And I really hate it when I'm without her. All right, you guys, well, I'm totally bummed. It's still throwing the codes. Check engine light's still on here. And we still have the electronic throttle. I'll show that to you. Right there, service electronic throttle control. That's the code that it throws, and so we are not out of the woods. But I am fixing to take her for a spin. All right, here we go. Wish me luck. It does go over $3,000, but it's not fixed. My foot is to the floor. It should be kicking into a way lower gear. It's just not. Okay, the next best thing was to go and get the codes cleared, so I did that, and now we're going to try to drive it again and see. I need to get to a place to where I need that kind of power, and see if by clearing the codes, if it's completely fixed, because it is a big code, I just learned. It's a big enough code that we have to do a complete reboot in order to erase it from the history, but my check engine light's not on anymore, and the code is gone off the dash, so we'll see. We're gonna take her for a spin here and see if we've got our power back. Lake sure is pretty today. I also learned what I did wrong as far as the clearing of the code with the battery. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to disconnect the negative like I did, but then I take it over and touch it to the positive, touch the negative to the positive. I don't have to disconnect the positive, but I need to touch the negative to the positive for 15 seconds. And it's basically creating a short, and it causes it to reset to factory settings. And that's what I did wrong, is I missed that step. So right now it's okay because it's off my dash, but it is in the history. So if I want to clear it, that's how I do it. So we're coming up here, I think, on an area to where we can see on a hill if she runs the way she's supposed to. We've got what we need here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my turbo's back. Woohoo! All right. That's exciting. same hill, same that I had the struggles with yesterday. If I mash it, oh yeah. We're back. That's exciting, you guys. It wasn't a $1,700 turbo diesel fix or something horrible like that. It was just a stupid sensor that needed cleaned. You know, these new vehicles, they just don't make them the same anymore. Now, I love my truck, don't get me wrong, but they just don't make them the same anymore. So, as you guys can see, I'm in need of a shower. I'm pretty stinking greasy. And I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you had a great day, and just remember, when you're feeling down, keep on swimming, swimming, swimming. Bye guys, yours truly.